this is exactly the next thing I would like to jump in, because we have to think about our audience. They want to get as much value from this as they can. So let's say a plumber is watching us, or let's say a roofer is watching us. Look, I'll tell you a funny story. Downstairs in the shop, we got calls from roofers, and they were asking us what is the health and safety, because they bought products from us, they went onto a job, and they were ran from a job because they didn't even have simple things as the health and safety statement. Never mind, all the paperwork for the lads,
Yeah.
So this podcast is about this.
Yeah, and just to clarify, I suppose, what a health and safety statement is, because people don't realise what it is. It's your declaration as a company that you are dedicated to keeping yourself, your employees, your clients and your visitors safe. And that essentially is a document to say, here is how we manage health and safety in our business. And then what we do is what we call risk assessments. Risk assessments is health and safety. So
risk assessment should be done for every specific job.
I mean everything, even from the simplicity of having someone take paper from an office and put it into a printer. You should have a risk assessment done on that. Realistically, and that's sometimes the stagnant about health and safety, where it's all too much paperwork. But what essentially it is looking at something and saying, well, what risks are involved? How could I hurt myself? And what control measures should I put in? Train your staff on that, have it on paperwork. And if anything happens, you as a company have done your due diligence. And it all falls under what we call the Health and Safety and Welfare at Work Act 2005. And as an employer just has to do everything that is reasonably practical to protect their staff. And if you're seen to be doing that, you'll be okay. But if you're not, you're just opening yourself up to everything.
Yeah, exactly. Would you believe that we get most of the commercial jobs because we have all the health and safety stuff in place?
Yeah.
And the clients tell us that specifically, guys, you're here because you're good and you have all the papers.
Yeah.
Because he said that whenever they call a roofer to have a look at a school roof, let's say, they just come in, the usual, And none of them have all the paperwork, almost none of them.
And a lot of the time it's subcontractors who won't have it, or else they're sole traders. And that's how I got started, was small sole traders who went into work for a client, had a problem on site. They got blamed for it. And I said, well, you don't have your health and safety documents. Just because you're working for someone and they have theirs, you still have to have your own. So what if someone gives me a call and says, I'm about to do a job and I have no health and safety statement, I just need a certain amount of information, what tools they use, how many employees they have, the general scope of the job. And then I essentially will be able to do up all of their risk assessments and their safety statement for that, so they can go on to a job. Or if there was a specific requirement, like an environmental policy, disciplinary policy, grievance policies, because I also have a HR degree. So I put HR and health and safety together, so in one big bundle. And then, like you said, a lot of my clients get the jobs because they're up to date.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, so the importance, I'd say, the real reason for health and safety is to keep people safe. But I did it from that point of view, but also the more legit your business looks in terms of the paperwork and the health and safety, the bigger clients you're going to attract.
Sure.
Isn't that, I'm trying to sell it to people, because they're watching here, Lucas is full of shit talking about this and
no,
that.
but it's
I'm
true.
giving them good reason.
Yeah, and also, could I be on that as well? It's the attitude towards health and safety that I find really disappointing from companies, that, oh yeah, we don't actually need it. But it's only when someone actually hurts themselves, or God forbid, dies on the property, that they're like, oh my God, health and safety matters. And I've been in situations where I've given them all the advice in the world and it would have cost them very little just to have this in place. But no, it doesn't matter. Then someone has a small accident, like one guy falls off an A-frame ladder, breaks his foot. They have a claim in, plus they're paying for all the medical expenses. But if they had just had this one document and trained that staff member...
Brilliant. So let me have another question here. So let's say if let's say I have a company and somebody falls off let's say a couple of step ladder, right? If they fall and I have all the paperwork in place, that means that I'm covered with my insurance company. Is that what it is?
Essentially, yes.
And then if I don't have it...
If you don't have it... Essentially, excuse my language, you're screwed.
Yeah. Well, that's actually a good word.
Yeah.
I was thinking you're going to smash something here.
No,
excuse my language.
you are. You're asking.
Hold on,
for...
do you mind if I have a drink here? Do you want
No, I am. Sure, why not? Wait,
yeah, it's not going to kill us.
Exactly. Yeah, so essentially, and I know I won't say if you have all the paperwork, you're automatically protected. Every situation is different. So it comes down to doing an inspection, and that's why the likes of your accident report forms.
Yes. Oh, we have that.
Yeah. If you have an accident on site and you have an accident report
would you
form.
like a dash of
No,
or
just straight
like
would be perfect.
Jesus Christ. I'm the only girl here, I suppose.
No, actually, I will. Sure, it's Friday. I suppose I'll have something.
I'll have a little dash in it.
Yeah, I'll have a little dash as well, please. Yeah, and essentially, so it comes down to if you have your accident report form and you've done your investigation, and if you can prove that it was the employee's fault, then you'll be okay.